He thought he was enrolling in a normal co-ed school. But on day 1, he's crushed by boxes, slapped by 3 girls, sees 2 superhumans battle, and accidentally catches a goddess falling from a tree, with her buns in his face. Oh, and now he's roommates with his childhood friend, a sword-swinging tsundere, and a girl who swears she's his fiancée, but there's just one problem. Everyone here has powers, except him. Welcome to Tenbi Academy, where battles decide your future. Bikinis are standard uniform, and if you're not careful, you'll get your eyes burned out for peeking. This is Maken-Ki, and it's pure, chaotic anime madness. In the beginning, we see a beautiful girl named Amaya Haruko walking through a glamorous garden. She mentions that she is going to visit her childhood friend, Takeru Uyama, who is 1 year younger than her. Takeru has been admitted to a boarding middle school, and they haven't met for 3 years. Upon reaching Takeru's room, she finds him getting dressed. However, Takeru accidentally displaces some big boxes that are about to fall on Amaya. Instinctively, Takeru jumps to save her, resulting in him falling on her. This makes Amaya a bit angry, but she also expresses happiness that they have finally reunited after 3 years. They then praise each other. Afterwards, they head to Tenbi Academy. On the way, Takeru tells Amaya that he has been one of the only boys at his previous school for 3 years, and he decided to join Tenbi Academy because it has recently become co-ed, transitioning from an all-girls school. Upon reaching the school, Amaya explains that it is not a normal school and mentions some special events that happen there. After that, Amaya leaves to prepare for the entrance ceremony. Takeru notices many beautiful girls around him and feels very happy. Following the girls, he reaches a corner of the school where he sees 2 girls fighting with superpowers over a boy. Meanwhile, he notices a girl named Kodama Himegami hanging upside down from a tree. When Kodama sees Takeru, she is surprised. But before she can say anything, a sword from the fighting girls cuts the branch, causing Kodama to fall onto Takeru's lap. She feels embarrassed, gets furious with Takeru, and considers him her enemy. Later, at the entrance ceremony, the principal introduces the school to the students and expresses the school motto, Mind, Beauty, Body. She explains that everyone will receive an element to fight for the 8 Maken, and becoming the owner of an element will ensure a bright future. She then orders them to fight. 2 senior combat girls are called to battle, but one of them refuses. Kodama then steps in to fight and calls Takeru her opponent. Despite Amaya's resistance, Takeru is sent to battle. Kodama uses her element to attack Takeru, but another girl named Inaho Kushiya intervenes, revealing that she is there to protect Takeru as his fiancée. In the next scene, Amaya seems worried that another girl is interested in Takeru. She leaves the school and goes to the dormitory. Takeru is later assigned to the dormitory where he ends up being roommates with Kodama and Inaho. However, Amaya, feeling jealous, decides to move in with them as well, thinking it is unfair for a boy to live with 2 strange girls. In the morning, Inaho Kushiya and Amaya Haruko prepare breakfast together. When Takeru wakes up, it's revealed that Kushiya slept beside him the entire night. Afterwards, Takeru goes to the bathroom to get dressed and accidentally sees Kodama Himegami naked, which infuriates her once again. She retaliates by attacking his eyes with her powers. During breakfast, Takeru compliments Kushiya for the delicious food. They all end up running late for school. While all the girls manage to enter the gate on time, Takeru leaves Kodama behind and uses his invisibility power to sneak her into the school. They are scolded by the vice president for being late. Later, they attend classes, and Takeru and another student climb a tree near the girls' dormitory to watch girls in bikini suits undergoing body checks by the nurse. They enjoy the view and joke that it's paradise on earth. However, Himegami catches them red-handed and punishes them. She warns them that if they continue, they'll lose their eyes next time. Meanwhile, boys undergo body checks by a hot nurse, and an element checking machine malfunctions upon detecting 3 people with the same element. They gather to investigate this further. Later, Takeru sits on a bench with Inaho Kushiya, and a football hits Takeru's face. He laughs and finds the girls even more beautiful when they smile. Kushiya invites him to join a club and offers snacks. Amaya arrives, and Takeru tells her he plans to join a club. In the next scene, they investigate individuals with the same elements. During this gathering, two girls start fighting, and Kushia declares she will protect Takeru. The principal and his secretary discuss the implications of this discovery. Later, the students participate in various game tournaments, and Kushia explains everything to Takeru. After the games, Takeru, Amaya, and Kushia walk together. Takeru finds a flyer for a photography club and decides to join, which excites Kushia. She insists on joining too, but Amaya, feeling jealous, pulls Takeru away and gives him a strong shake. Confused, Takeru asks what's wrong. Amaya then suggests another club for Takeru to join, whose name seems strange to him. Takeru inquires Amaya about the club she wants him to join, so she explains it a bit to him. Afterwards, Takeru goes to the bathroom to brush his teeth and accidentally sees Amaya bathing. Amaya gets angry and throws a shampoo bottle at his face, injuring his nose. At school, Takeru asks Amaya again about the club. She asks if he has decided to join, but he replies that he wants to know more before making a decision. The student council vice president then explains everything to him, revealing that the club works to maintain peace at Tenbi Academy. A first-year student approaches Takeru and accidentally stops him by bumping into him. When Takeru touches her chest by mistake, she shouts that she had warned him to be careful and punches him in the face. Later, a new female student meets Takeru. A fight breaks out between a boy and a girl. The boy disobeys the rules, tearing the girl's uniform, and is about to crush her when Takeru intervenes, jumping into the battle to save her. The girl manages to win the fight. After the fight, the girl scolds Takeru for disobeying the battle rules. Amaya, seeing his bravery, seems happy. Takeru then proclaims that he agrees to join the club Amaya wants him to join. They go to join the club, and Takeru assures that he will work sincerely. After that, all the students go to a hot spring for swimming. The boys are surprised by the beauty of the place. All the new members of the club are welcomed at the hot spring. The club president is happy to have 3 new members, and the boys think they will enjoy watching the girls in swimsuits without any obstacles. However, when the beautiful girls arrive, Kadama Himegami throws them into the water by hitting them with objects, stating that they did not want to bathe with the boys. Ben Takaki is introduced as the club president, and all the members are introduced to her. Then their advising teacher appears, looking very attractive. The boys stare at her for a long time. Then a first-year girl asks the advising teacher if she can touch her. You know what, right? The teacher allows it, and they both enjoy the moment. The boys and girls then have a lot of fun playing with each other. However, their enjoyment is interrupted when a bear starts chasing Takeru and another student. A girl uses her Maken powers to throw the bear far away from the swimming area and traps it in fluffy material. She explains that this was all due to the strength of the club, which greatly impresses the boys. The club members are seen racing to maintain their physical strength. During the race, a female student named Akaza throws an arrow-like object, which hits a boy. Later, the students gather for a school lesson where the president teaches them the basics of Maken. She explains that a Maken is a special weapon connected to their element and that they use replica Makens. The teacher notices that Takeru and another student are sleeping. She hits them with a marker and scolds them, then punishes them by making them run 50 laps around the school to remove their laziness. Afterwards, Himegami teaches all the club members how to meditate. Meanwhile, Takeru and his companions start having sweet dreams after seeing the teacher. Himegami's little assistant hits their faces, making Takeru feel extremely tired. He pretends that his whole body is in pain, and Kushia gives him a massage. This makes Amaya uncomfortable, so she also starts giving him a massage. However, they are being observed by a hidden Himegami, who is searching for the source of Takeru's power that he used to help the girl win a fight some days ago. Later, Himegami takes Takeru shopping, and Amaya and the other members consider it a date. Himegami buys a lot of items with Takeru and later sees a bikini suit. She goes to try it on and warns Takeru not to peek or she will kill him. Takeru, disturbed by some other students, drops all the shopping bags. Feeling that she made a mistake taking Takeru with her, Himegami decides to take him to a cafe for lunch. Afterward, they go to the seaside, where she starts to have fun with him instead of focusing on the sign on his chest. Himegami then tries to find a way to see the sign on his chest. She approaches Takeru and says, "Show me your chest." Before she can do anything, men in black suits appear, claiming to be her fans. They are unhappy to see her with another boy and try to attack Takeru, but Himegami throws them into the water. The other members are secretly watching the whole scene. Later, another boy appears from the bushes and challenges Himegami to a battle. He uses a Maken snake to fight her, but during the fight, Takeru is also attacked. As a result, both Takeru and Himegami fall into the water. Takeru manages to bring Himegami out of the water and brutally defeats the boy. Impressed by Takeru's bravery, Himegami kisses him. Seeing this, her fans and the other members appear and shout at Himegami. A girl introduces herself as Amaya Haruko and remarks that Uyama Takeru has already become a full-fledged member of Maken-Ki, but since he doesn't possess a Maken, it looks like he will be facing a lot of hardship also. Himegami seems interested in Takeru since she took him shopping and visited a maid cafe with him, and she even kissed him. Haruko hurriedly clarifies that that doesn't concern her. She wakes up and heads outside to exercise, but she keeps thinking of Himegami kissing Takeru and angrily brings her wooden sword down. Takeru, who was apparently jogging, greets her, and she's surprised by the fact that he's jogging so early in the morning. He clarifies that he hasn't been able to use his power since the incident and can't remember that moment during Azuki's battle either. Although he's not familiar with Tenbi yet, he still feels that he needs some kind of power to protect himself as well as the people around him. Haruko slightly blushes and asks if he's referring to Himegami before walking away despite him trying to stop her. Later at school, Takeru shockingly sees that he's been given green peas for lunch and asks Haruko what she did that for. She remarks that she's just trying to rid him of that bad habit and questions if he doesn't want to get stronger to protect those around him. He nervously tries to argue, so she tells him to make his own bentos from now on if he isn't satisfied. As she's leaving, he says he isn't good at cooking and tries to stop her, but he accidentally ends up pulling down her skirt, surprising Yuka and Furon, who had just entered. Flustered, Takeru hurriedly tries to clarify that this was just an accident, but Manaya punches him in the face and addresses him as a perverted boy, angrily asking if he's finally showing his true colors. He tries to defend himself and turns to Haruko for help, but she angrily pulls up her skirt and doesn't take his side either. Later, Takeru wonders if this was his fault and sees Cha-Cha getting ready to arm wrestle a bulky-looking man. She easily topples him over, surprising Takeru, who wonders what they were competing for. Minaya appears and explains that they're fighting for club budgets, and it makes the club that is dissatisfied with their current budget shut up. She reveals that all Kenkebu members are negotiating with the clubs right now, so Takeru asks which club they're going to. She sternly says for a new member like him to participate in budget negotiations is 10 years too early. Meanwhile, Furon discloses that violent incidents have recently been happening all over the school. It seems all the victimized students have lost memories of the incident, considering that they neither know the culprit nor have any witnesses. These definitely weren't battles. She tells Manaya and Takeru to look into these, and when they leave, Manaya instantly decides to make herself clear and tells Takeru she hates him. She doesn't know his strength and doesn't think they'll get along, but he's still a comrade of the Maken-Ki, and she is of the Shikubu, so they're going to work together this time. She holds out her hand but instantly whips it away when he calls her by her first name, leaving him wonder if she will really cooperate. As Haruko and Kimi are returning from a trip to the manga club, Kimi remarks that she has been getting soft and teasingly asks if it's because of Takeru. Flustered, Haruko starts blushing and says they're just childhood friends, remarking that he always has that stupid grin on his face and can't make up his mind. His laundry always piles up and he's picky about his food. Seeing her talking about Takeru, Kimi smiles and remarks that she really notices him a lot. Meanwhile, Manaya gives Takeru some sandwiches to stop his stomach from constantly growling and remembers how her bond with Haruko grew after Haruko offered to share her lunch with her. Takeru drinks some water and resolves to show Manaya what he can do since she totally treats him like an object. Suddenly, a girl walks up to him and says there is something she would like to discuss. She slowly gets close to him and reveals she knows the culprit of the incident before suddenly using her magic, gluing Takeru's feet to the ground. Manaya suddenly attacks the girl from behind and questions if she's the culprit of the various incidents before attacking her with her Maken. She angrily tells Takeru that the name of the Maken-Ki is sullied because of nuisances like him, so he hurriedly apologizes and she tells him to not call her by her first name. Suddenly, the girl entraps Manaya as well and reveals that she just needs to know the names of her victims to trap them, declaring that it's time for their punishment. She instantly attacks Manaya, so Takeru tries to call the others, but Manaya stops him and wearily says they can't cause trouble for their upperclassmen. Troubled, he asks if she's asking him to just stand around and do nothing and throws away his phone. Meanwhile, Furan tells Haruko that they haven't been able to get in contact with Takeru and Manaya, hearing which she worryingly rushes off to find them. Manaya determinedly vows to become as dependable as Haruko, but she gets attacked by another strong attack and tries to use her Maken-Ki. Haruko spots the flash of light and instantly lands in front of them. The girl entraps her too, but sees that she can hold her own against the power. Haruko comfortingly assures Manaya she did well and asks the girl why she's doing this, declaring that she can't forgive her for hurting her underclassmen. She uses her Maken-Ki, Heaven's Gate, and reveals that behind this gate is a Maken possessing great power. She uses Maken Murakamo's power to tear away the web gluing them down, surprising the girl who warily tells Haruko to pull her sword out so that they can fight. However, Haruko says Heaven's Gate automatically detects the strength of the opponent, and she can't just pull it out against her. Enraged, the girl angrily attacks her with her Maken, but Haruko slices it in two and takes her down. Manaya happily hugs Haruko and apologizes, but Haruko assures her it's fine and remarks that she ruined her cute face by crying. Takeru apologizes to them as well, but Manaya says it's fine since she asked him to not contact the others. He says he'll learn from Haruko and make sure to work hard, so she happily encourages him before he accidentally trips on his broken phone. Meanwhile, Himegami tells the others that they don't have to go since Haruko has already left to help them and there's no one in the school who can match her. Next morning, Haruko finds a soda can sitting above a note for her. She remembers how Takeru tripped and accidentally kissed her on the cheek and tells him to do his best. A young Takeru watches Inaho practicing martial arts in the rain and says she'll catch a cold, but she smiles and says she doesn't mind the rain. Presently, Inaho wakes up in school and remembers how she met Takeru 8 years ago in the rainy season. Takeru suddenly startles her to inform her that their next class is going to be element self-practice. She gets ready to leave and reminds him of how it was raining back then too, hearing which he slowly remarks that she's acting differently today. In class, the teacher tells them to concentrate on their crystal ball, explaining that calling their elements is easy, but controlling them is hard, so they should first try to focus on the fog in the center of the ball. Takeru manages to do it, but notices that it returns to its original state if you get distracted even for a moment, realizing that Haruko really is amazing. Usui inquires about the perpetrator of the violent incidents, so Takeru says the girl doesn't seem to remember anything about those incidents, so her memory has probably been altered. BYA third person just like her opponents. The teacher suddenly smacks Usui in the hand and says they'll be in trouble later if they underestimate controlling the crystal right now, since knowing how to use an element is more useful than the Maken itself. She tells Kuragasu to fight her as a demonstration. He remarks that his body gets hard as steel and warns her that her knuckles might get hurt, but she says a child like him doesn't need to worry about her or he'll be hurt badly. She demonstrates how one is supposed to use their element and easily punches Kuragasu away, smashing him into the wall. Later, Haruko gives Takeru a shopping list and some money since she's busy today. He asks Inaho if she would like to come with him and they shop for groceries together. As they're walking back, she keeps remembering how they first met before Takeru suddenly stops and says the whole time they've been shopping, he's been holding it back. She wonders what he means, so he says he can't hold back anymore and says he wants to do that in the park. Surprised, she admits it's true they're engaged, but she will happily comply if he wants to do it so much. He suddenly hands over his shopping bag and runs off, confusing her. Later, he apologizes since he really had to go and remarks that it's raining pretty heavily. He can't remember what happened with them when it was raining, which slightly hurts her, so he promises to tell her when he remembers and says they should head back to the dorm now. Downcast, she tells him to go on ahead without her and says she just wants to stay here a little longer, assuring him that she's not angry. Sitting alone on the bench, she remarks that it might be selfish, but she wants him to remember their precious promise. She slowly walks away and leaves her umbrella behind. She walks up a hill, and Usui notices her from behind. Inaho finds an abandoned cat which seems to lift her spirits, so she says they should go up together. Meanwhile, Takeru returns to tell Haruko and Himegami that he left Inaho alone. Himegami remarks that those who are bonded should find each other even when separated by 1,000 kilometers. Those who are not shall be strangers even when meeting every day. Since Inaho is his fiancée, they must both share some sort of bond, so he should treasure her feelings. Worried, Takeru decides to look for her and rushes off into the rain. He runs into Usui outside, who informs that he saw Inaho going to a Manohara from the shopping district, drenched in rain, angrily asking what he did to make her TR. Takeru says he did nothing, so Usui punches him in the face and says he can't forgive him for making such a pure and gentle girl cry. Takeru angrily says he can't forgive himself too and blocks another punch. Usui remarks that he's a pervert and a useless man, but he's even worse. Takeru says he has to hurry and rushes off. Himegami gives Usui the file he dropped and remarks that she always thought he was an idiot and a pervert. He smiles and asks if he changed her view. She asks what he bought since it got wet, but he assures her it's nothing since it's wrapped in plastic inside. The file suddenly rips from the bottom, dropping a naughty magazine, seeing which Himegami angrily says he's still a perverted, useless man. Meanwhile, Takeru is rushing through the city and remembers what Inaho said. He apologizes for forgetting such an important thing. Meanwhile, as Inaho is covering the cat from the rain, she suddenly hears Takeru's voice calling for her before the cat runs away. Takeru runs into the cat at the entrance to the hill. Band suddenly notices a large boulder hat is about to fall on it. He rushes forward and in a moment of agency manages to pick up the cat and protract her from the boulder. More boulders suddenly start falling, so Inaho suddenly rushes towards them and uses her Maken to destroy the boulders. In a flashback, Takeru tries to stop a hurt Inaho from crying and purposefully smashes his head on a wall, saying they're the same now. Inaho stops crying and says she'll be his wife one day, so he vows to grow strong enough to protect her when he grows older. Hearing which, she smiles. Presently, he makes the same promise again and vows to grow stronger to protect her, hearing which she realizes that deep down he hasn't forgotten the promise he made to her back then and his feelings haven't changed. That's why she's content with just this. Later, while the girls are bathing, Himegami says humans and cats are the same in the aspect that they want to be with the ones they love. Haruko turns around and embarrassingly asks what she means, so she remarks that she didn't say anything about her. Meanwhile, Takeru is shakily sitting outside and wonders if they can't go faster than this. If you survived that shower scene without a nosebleed, you owe us a subscribe. More over-the-top powers and accidental melon grabs coming your way.